We dedicated this week's Voice of the Fan to those of you who are fans of the last place teams from 2012. And we asked you which of those 8 teams has the most to look forward to this offseason, looking ahead to the 2013 season. You spoke, and we have the votes and the results to this week's Voice of the Fan, joined by associate editor Arthur Arkus to break it down. Arthur, let's start at the bottom. Only 2% of the fans of the Jaguars have the most to look forward to. And keep in mind, a few weeks back, we asked them which was the best head coaching hire, and because Bradley, only 6% of the fans thought he was the best hire. There is no faith in Jacksonville.
I guess the fans are having a hard time getting excited about a Blaine Gabbert, Chad Henne quarterback competition. I think that kind of sums up the Jaguars' problems. Of course, the quarterback is the hardest position to fill in the NFL. Jaguars have failed to do that, but even beyond that, it's going to be the 3rd straight season with a new head coach. There's just not a lot to hang your hat on. You look at that roster and tell me where the defensive playmakers are. You've got Maurice Jones-Drew on offense, obviously, but he's coming off the foot injury, and I just think there's a lot of question marks. There's not a whole lot of goodwill left when they're making so many changes year in and year out.
There will be a lot to look forward to. GM David Caldwell didn't put down the idea of bringing in Tim Tebow, because that would have been a very exciting offseason in Jacksonville. Going through some more of the results, coming in 7th was the Cardinals with 6%, 6th place was the Bills with 10%, and the Panthers with 11%, the Browns at 14%, and the Eagles came in 3rd with 16% of the vote. Any surprises when you looked at those teams?
Talk about the 2 bookends. I just think with the Cardinals, I have a lot of faith in Bruce Arians. I was so impressed with what he did last year. They obviously started hot. There's obviously a lot of good pieces on defense. I think that he assembled a strong staff. I think they have a chance to bounce back pretty quickly. I also really like what Buffalo's done this offseason. I think Ralph Wilson made a smart decision by sort of handing over the day-to-day operations to Russ Brandon, who's a sharp guy. I'm not really convinced in Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I think Buffalo has some things to build on. And then at the top of the list, the Eagles, it's a boom or bust. You know, Chip Kelly, I think it's either going to be really good or really bad. There's obviously still a lot of talent, but we'll see what happens with Mike Vick and just a boatload of other questions there.
The Detroit Lions came in 2nd with 18% of the vote, which makes the Chiefs the winners this week. 23% of you think the Chiefs have the most to look forward to this offseason. Now, Kansas City was the worst team in the NFL last year. They're getting the #1 pick. They have Andy Reid. That has to factor in. And you look at the Detroit Lions, really fell off last year, but have plenty of talent to make a return in 2013. Why do you think these 2 teams came out on top?
Fascinating that the Chiefs, the 2-14 team, are at the top of this list. The Jaguars, the other 2-14 team, are at the bottom. That just tells you the difference in talent. Chiefs had 5 Pro Bowlers. They went out and got arguably the most coveted head coach in Andy Reid. They have the 1st pick in the draft, even if there isn't a clear-cut quarterback at the top. I think there's a lot to like about that roster. With the Lions, they got rid of Titus Young. Is that a step in the right direction? No, you know, Jim Schwartz is obviously entering a do-or-die season, and I think there's a lot of talent on that roster as well. Obviously, they do have the quarterback in place. I think they have the most stability at quarterback of any team on this list, but a lot of holes on the roster. The defense needs work. They need more playmakers on both sides of the ball, so it's a work in progress there.
What did you think of the fans' results for this week's Voice of the Fan? Which last place team has the most to look forward to this offseason? Let us know on our YouTube page and head to our website at ProFootballWeekly.com.